They say markets never lie. When you hear whispers about your partner, should you listen? In every Nigerian city, the market isn't just a place for buying and selling. It's the heartbeat of the community, a place where secrets travel faster than lightning. If there's one thing everyone agrees on, it's that markets never lie. Have you ever walked through Balogun Market in Lagos or Ogbete Market in Enugu and overheard traders casually discussing someone's secret affair? It starts as a whisper, then spreads like wildfire. Maybe it's the friendly woman selling Accra who mentions, "My sister, you won't believe who I saw last night with another woman." Or the elderly man roasting corn who mutters, "These young men of today, carrying two women like they are going to war." At first, it sounds like idle gossip. But is it? In African folktales, wisdom often comes from unexpected places. The talking drum, the trickster tortoise, the all-knowing market woman. Each plays a role in revealing hidden truths. In modern times, the market itself has become a talking drum, echoing secrets that some wish would remain buried. Let's say you hear whispers about your partner being seen with someone else in an unexpected place. Maybe at a hotel, a distant restaurant, or an area they have no business being in. Should you brush it off as mere talk, or is there a hidden truth? Consider the story of Linda, a hair vendor in Abuja, who ignored repeated rumors about her husband. Every time she went to his market, someone would joke, "Madam, I hope your husband is not spending his salary on that light-skinned girl at the corner shop." She laughed it off, thinking it was just jealous traders looking for entertainment. Until one evening, after receiving a tip from a market woman, she decided to check for herself. What she found shattered her world. Her husband was not only cheating, but had been financially supporting another woman for months. The market knew long before she did. Then there's Matthew, a businessman in Onitsha, who dismissed rumors about his wife's strange movements. His friends would say, "Bro, nah your wife I see for that hotel o." But he believed she was simply attending business meetings. It wasn't until he started noticing her frequent excuses, always too busy, always secretive, that he connected the dots. The gossip wasn't just talk, it was a warning. Not every rumor is true, but in Nigerian culture, where people are observant and communities are tightly knit, market whispers often contain at least a grain of truth. Unlike social media gossip, market talk comes from real people who have seen things firsthand. If multiple sources in different places keep saying the same thing, it's worth paying attention. The key is not to overreact, but to observe patterns. Is your partner suddenly secretive, defensive, changing routines? These could be signs that what you heard might be real. Cheating partners often think they are smart, but the truth has a way of escaping, even through the mouths of traders selling tomatoes. The next time you hear a whisper about your relationship, don't just ignore it. Watch, listen, investigate. The market doesn't whisper for fun, it warns. Ever noticed a sudden new friend that seems too involved in your partner's life? Folktales warn us about crows that bring bad omens. In African folktales, the crow is often seen as a messenger of warning. It perches where it shouldn't, follows when it isn't needed, and watches in silence. Just like that new friend who suddenly appears in your partner's life and won't go away. Have you ever noticed your partner constantly mentioning a new colleague, a gym buddy, or an online friend? At first, it seems harmless, but then the name keeps coming up. They text late at night, have inside jokes, and somehow always seem to be around. That's when you start wondering, who exactly is this person, and why are they so involved? In many Nigerian stories, the trickster always comes disguised. The tortoise pretends to be wise, the hyena acts like a loyal friend, and the crow, well, it never leaves until something goes wrong. This is exactly how affairs often start. It's never sudden. It begins with small things. Frequent mentions. "Oh, Tolu said something so funny today." Extra attention. "Let me call John and ask what he thinks." Defensive behavior. "Why are you worried? We're just friends." Slowly, the presence of this friend increases, and before you realize it, your relationship has a third person lurking in the shadows. Take Grace, a bank worker in Lagos. She started noticing that her husband, Kunal, was always talking about his new co-worker, Sandra. At first, it was work-related, but then it became personal. He began texting late at night, taking calls in another room, and suddenly, Sandra needed a ride home, almost every evening. When Grace confronted him, he laughed. "She's just a friend," he said. But friends don't make a man change his password overnight. Weeks later, Grace found out the truth. Sandra wasn't just a co-worker, she was his secret lover. Then there's Ikenna, a business owner in Enugu. His wife, Ada, became unusually close to a neighbor, Chidi. Chidi always seemed to be around, helping with small tasks and offering unsolicited advice. Kenneth felt uneasy, but trusted his wife. Until one day when a mutual friend whispered, "Bro, check your wife's messages." What he found confirmed his worst fears. Chidi wasn't just a neighbor, he was a crow that had been circling too close. How to spot the dangerous friend. The signs are usually there if you look closely. They're always in your partner's conversations. They communicate at odd hours. Your partner is suddenly protective of their phone. They downplay their connection, but get defensive when questioned. In folktales, the crow doesn't land without reason. It follows where there is something to gain. If your gut tells you this friend is more than just a friend, don't ignore it. Watch their movements, listen to your instincts, and most importantly, protect your relationship before the crow takes what's yours. When money starts vanishing without explanation, is it just bad spending habits, or is there someone else being funded? In African folktales, the missing yam is often a sign of deception. A farmer wakes up to find that his biggest yam is gone. At first, he assumes it was an animal, but then he notices footprints leading away from the barn. The yam didn't just disappear, it was taken. Now, think about this in your relationship. Money doesn't just vanish. If your partner's finances suddenly seem unstable, ATM withdrawals late at night, unexplained expenses, secretive transactions, it's time to ask, is there someone else benefiting from their wallet? In Nigeria, where financial responsibility plays a major role in relationships, an unexplained shift in spending habits is often the first clue that something is wrong. A once thrifty husband suddenly starts spending recklessly. A careful wife begins withdrawing large sums with no clear purpose. This isn't always innocent. Many affairs come with a financial cost. It starts subtly. Mysterious expenses. It's just a loan I gave to a friend. Frequent cash withdrawals. I needed cash for something urgent. Secret gifts. It's nothing important, don't worry about it. At first, it seems normal, but then the numbers stop adding up. Timothy, a trader in Lagos, noticed that his wife, Becky, kept making withdrawals but had nothing to show for it. When he asked, she brushed it off, saying it was for small expenses. But then, he found a hotel receipt in her car. The date matched a night she claimed to be at her sister's place. It turned out the missing money was funding secret weekend getaways. Esther, a working mother in Abuja, always trusted her husband, Chris, with money. But she began to notice his excuses. Business deals that never materialized, loans to friends that were never repaid. One evening, she received an anonymous message. Check your husband's bank alerts. What she found was shocking, regular transfers to a woman's account. The business deals were actually money spent on another woman. How to detect if your partner is financially cheating. They become secretive about money. Frequent ATM withdrawals without explanation. A sudden change in lifestyle. New clothes, gifts, expensive outings, but no salary increase. Excuses about helping a friend, too often. Yams don't disappear from the barn on their own, and money doesn't vanish without a reason. If your partner's finances suddenly become a mystery, ask questions. Affairs are often hidden in bank statements, unexplained gifts, and secret transactions. Don't just look at what they say. Watch where the money goes. Thank you for watching. Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure you come back and watch the part 2 of this video. Stay tuned.